Today's lesson is about derivative rules of trigonometry functions. When you do the derivative of trigonometry function, remember all the variable is in radians, not degree. If y equals sine x, then dy by dx equals cosine x. In other words, we can do derivative of sine x equals cosine x. If y equals cosine x, then dy by dx equals negative sine x. We can write down cosine x, the derivative equals negative sine x. For y equals tangent x, then dy by dx equals secant square x. It will be 1 over cosine square x. So we can write down derivative for tangent x equals 1 over cosine square x. Let's go to guided practice 1. Differentiate with respect to x. Look at the A. Derivative for y equals, for sine x, we do derivative, then minus cosine 2x, do the derivative. You will get the 4 cosine x. Then minus derivative for cosine 2x will be negative sine 2x. Then you have to use the chain rule to do the derivative to this 2x. That will be 2. So we organize the result. It's a 4 cosine x. Negative will be positive, so plus 2 sine 2x. Now for B, derivative for 3 tangent 2x equals 3 times 1 over cosine square, then it's 2x. Then using the chain rule, you do the derivative for this 2x, that is a 2. We organize, you will get the 6 cosine square 2x. Look at the C. You have to use the quotient rule because this is a quotient of two functions. Therefore, x squared, you do the sine x derivative times x, then minus sine x, then is a derivative for this x. Organize. You will get the denominator, that's x squared. Cosine x times x, I put the x over here, then minus. Derivative for x means 1, so minus sine x. That's it. Now let's go to D. When you do the derivative to these expressions, you have to use product rule. When you have two function multiplication, we do derivative of that, you will get the derivative of u times v plus u times the derivative of v. Therefore, e to the 2x power, we do derivative, then tangent x, plus e to the 2x times tangent x, we do the derivative. We work this out. This is a derivative of exponential function. So you will get the e to x. Then use chain rule, that's 2. Then times tangent x. Plus e to the 2x power times Derivative of tangent x is 1 over cosine square x. So we organize. You will get the 2e to the 2x power tangent x, then plus e to the 2x power over cosine square x. Now for the e, this one you don't have to use the quotient rule because numerator is a constant number. So we write down power form first. You will get the 2 sine 2x. We do the negative second power. So when we do the derivative for this, basically we are doing derivative for this. Coefficient stay times, we have to use a power rule, drop down. You get the negative 2 times the sine 2x. Then do the negative 2 minus 1, that's negative 3 times. Then you do the derivative for this sine function, you will get the cosine 2x. Then you do the derivative for 2x by chain rule, that is 2. We organize this result. You have 2 times negative 2 times 2, that is negative 8. Negative third power means denominator 1 over sine 2x. Then you do the third power times cosine 2x. Therefore, you will get the negative 8 cosine 2x over sine, this is third power 2x. Now let's go to the f. Still, don't use a quotient rule. Try to change it into power form so that use a power rule. We have 8 times tangent x over 2, do the negative third power. When you do the derivative for that, we put the derivative for y. We suppose this is y. You will get 8 times negative 3 drop down. You will get the tangent x over 2, do the negative fourth power. Then times, you have to do the derivative for tangent x over 2. That will be 1 over cosine square x over 2. Then you have to do the derivative for x over 2. That will be 1/2. So we organize. Top will be negative 24. Denominator, for this negative fourth power, we can write down tangent fourth power x over 2 here times cosine square x over 2. Then times 1/2, I can put 2 over here. Then reduce, you will get the negative 12. For final answer, you can write down negative 12 tangent fourth power, that is x over 2 times cosine square x over 2. Now let's go to guided practice 2. Differentiate with respect to x. For a, do the derivative for that. Cosine x squared. Then do the derivative for this x squared. It will be 2x. So answer will be 2x cosine x squared. Now let's go to b. Sine square x. We do the derivative. you have to use the power rule first. So you get the 2 sine x. Then do the derivative of sine x by chain rule. You will get the cosine x. Since sine 2x equals 2 sine x times cosine x, therefore you can write down sine 2x. That's the final answer. Let's go to C. Derivative for cosine square root of x. First of all, this is a trigonometry function, so you will get the negative sine square root of x. Then you have to do the derivative for this square root of x. That will be 2 square root of x. This is 1 over. So times 1 over 2 square root of x equals negative sine square root of x over 2 square root of x. For this d, you have to use the power rule first. Still use this formula. You will get 1 over 2 square root of cosine x. Then you do the derivative of cosine x, that's negative sine x. Therefore, the final answer will be negative sine x over 2 square root of cosine x. The reason why I did a problem like this is to make it clear that when you say the derivative of expressions, which rule you got to use first? Is it a power rule or is a derivative rule of trigonometry? Please compare A to B and compare C to D.